So our conversation tonight is really going to focus around four things. One is going back to conversation we had at our meeting in April about Conclave and what kinds of activities you wanted as a leadership forum group at Conclave. So I have the answers for that. We're going to talk about the devil is in the detail, and you had asked again to continue to get data and information about business administration jobs and the economy. So I've got a few of those details for you as well. We're going to do a catch up real quick, find out where you're headed into the summer with your action plans. What work you still need to get completed on those, or that will carry over into next fall, and then we'll have some question time as well. I anticipate that if we end up with just the 7 of us together, that this will probably go about 30 minutes or so. So at our meeting last month, we talked about 3 specific things, or I had 3 requests from participants on the phone call last time. Just a reminder that Conclave is October 6th through the 9th in Vancouver, Washington. You heard it here first. We don't have this 100% solidified, but it looks like one of our keynote speakers is going to be from Adidas. So I'm so excited. He agreed today. We just have to work out the details. But in terms of the leadership forum, you asked me to ask Jim about 3 very specific things. One was to hold a luncheon on Friday and our panels. So on Friday afternoon, what traditionally happens is we have lunch for our teacher advisory network and our board members. So the MBA Research Board joins the teacher advisory network for lunch. And then Jim brings in a panel of experts in the afternoon to share their forward-thinking trends, information, really looking from a global perspective at business administration. So Jim said that's a great idea. You are all invited to that luncheon and that panel Friday. That will start at noon. So in terms of making travel plans, you'll want to make sure that you arrive at the hotel by noon so that you can join us for luncheon for the afternoon. You also asked, and I think this was Kelly Deemer, said, hey, we need to celebrate Leadership Forum and all the work we've been doing. And so you asked for Saturday night or Sunday night, some kind of a celebration, so we're going to do that. We'll either do that at the hotel or a local restaurant. Right now I'm gearing it towards the hotel because it just makes it easier for everyone. We'll have a cash bar and munchies. It'll be a time to just hang out together, and then for each state to do a celebration of all that they've accomplished this year since January when we met at Leadership Forum. So a really short, quick report out, but Saturday night will be more about celebrating you. And then the teams wanted to meet. So we're going to have a deep think just for our Leadership Forum group. And depending on how this plays out and how many of your team members are able to make it, we'll give you an opportunity to meet as a team again in October. Or if you're the only person that's able to make it from your team, we'll form some light groups so that you can share back and forth and really learn from each other. One of the things that was brought up in a meeting I was in earlier today is that State Department people would love to sit and talk with State Department people, and teachers would like to sit and talk with teachers. So we'll make that part of the deep think as well, so that you can share across your levels of expertise as well. And then the 4th thing I asked you about at our meeting last time was just to start thinking about doing a presentation. And we can do this a number of ways. I didn't hear back from anyone yet because I know that you were just thinking about it and you were planning on reaching out to me really soon. So I would like a presentation at Conclave, either a couple of states or all of the states, or a couple of the teachers who are there independent and some state people, to really talk, to do a panel in terms of your action plan, where you're going with it as a state, how Leadership Forum impacted your state, and changes that you made, so that people who are wondering about Leadership Forum, who are at Conclave thinking about coming, thinking about forming a state group, would be able to come in and listen to that panel. So if you are interested in doing that, if you would just shoot me an email, I would appreciate, and I'll remind everyone tomorrow as well, if you are interested in doing a presentation. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is presentations again. You have a lot of expertise, and I only have one person from the entire forum who has submitted a presentation application at this point in time. So I really want you to, other than my PD team, I really want you to think about your areas of expertise, things that you would be able to share or willing to share with either, if you're a State Department person, things that you could share with other State Department people and CTE directors from across the country, if you're a teacher, instructional strategies and tools that you're using, and really consider submitting a presentation. I'm going to leave presentations open for about 3 more weeks. I know it's the end of the year, at least for school districts. Our state people and our MBA research team will all be working through the summer. But for those of you who are in school right now, the last thing you really want to think about is presentations. And for State Department people, as your teachers are leaving, you might get a couple of minutes of downtime that you can think about submitting a presentation proposal. And you can do that right on our Conclave website at mbaresearch.org. There's a link there to submit a presentation. If you have some ideas and you want to bounce those off me before you submit that proposal, go ahead and shoot me an email. That would be perfect. One of the things that especially some of the teachers talk to me about for Conclave is, how do we fund our way there? How do I get there? We have a couple of opportunities. If you're a teacher and you do a presentation, we pay you for that, but that's only for our teachers. And then another opportunity for our teachers, if they've not gone through the training yet, is we will be holding a post-conference training, Daniels Fund Ethics Specialists and or course implementation training. That application will be coming out in about a week, and Leadership Forum participants will have first dibs at this. So what does that mean? What does that mean to become a Daniels Fund Ethics Specialist or course implementation? For Daniels Fund Ethics Specialist, what that means is that you'll go back to your state and present between 3 and 5 times, and you'll work with your State Department person, but you'll become your in-state expert on all things Daniel Funds and ethical leadership training, so that you'll be able to provide professional development to your state, and you'll work with your State Department people and your local district people to provide that training. For course implementation training, this would be a commitment by your school district to allow you to submit a proposal to implement the Daniels Fund Ethical Leadership course, either the 1-semester course or the 2-semester course, for the following year. And if your timeline is earlier than October, we could certainly kind of front load that and provide the information that you would need to at least put in for the course. So your school district would have to agree to allow you to at least make the proposal. Obviously, they can't guarantee that the course is going to run, or that there won't be a stopgap somewhere along the line. Something might happen, but your immediate supervisor would need to, in good faith, say, yeah, we really would like to hold this course, and we'll provide that training. If you are an educator and you attend the ethics specialist or the course implementation training in full, then your entire way to Conclave is paid as well. So we would pay your registration for Conclave, we would pay your flight, we would pay per diem meals and transportation costs to and from the airport, and your hotel. So there would be no cost to you. So that's really kind of a couple of different ways for our teachers to really think about. If you really want to come to Conclave, but you know it's just not in your school district's budget, is to offset the cost a little bit with presentation. and or apply for that Daniels Fund Ethics Specialist and Course Implementation Training. So be looking for that application to come out. I'll be sending it to all of our State Department people and then to all of the teachers as well. So if you are, especially if you are a teacher and you use a different email address during the summer, if you would let me know, I would appreciate that so it doesn't sit in your inbox in your school email for until fall, and then we've filled all of those slots. Does anybody have questions about Conclave or the Leadership Forum activities? I have muted all of you. I'm going to unmute all of you, and then if you would self-mute, because that way you'll be able to just come in and ask questions as needed. So if you've got any background noise going on, just self-mute yourself. Okay, all right. Of course, now all right. All right, so wanted to provide some additional information. When we were at Leadership Forum and Jim did his update and provided you with a lot of data and information about business administration positions, you were pretty excited about that and wanted the information. So this PowerPoint will be coming out to you as well, but especially you know, updates out to the field, or if you have underclassmen still in school and you're trying to, you know, get those students to really continue to think about business administration positions. So this is pulled from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This was from May of this year, so pretty recent data. So the financial industry I thought was really interesting. In April of this year, it grew by 19,000 jobs. Of those 19,000 jobs, 14,000 of those were in insurance and accounting. But the financial industry as a whole has added 173,000 jobs in the last 12 months. So really something to think about and encourage your students. And I was looking, I don't have all of the employment data in terms of salaries and stuff, but when I was reviewing, I don't have it here, but when I was reviewing that, those were some pretty significant salaries for students. So certainly well beyond a position. So that's in the financial industry. So let's look at the marketing industry, and you can see again, this is 2016. They didn't have the 2017 data, but you can see again, and this data, while it was on the website Smart Insights, they initially pulled it from the Bureau of Labor Statistics as well. But look at the growth that there is in our field, and you know, business administration continues to be a really strong area for our students to be pursuing as careers, whether they go on to a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree or some type of certificate program, depending on the field that they're interested in. There is significant job growth here. So what does that mean in terms of pay? It's great to get a good job, but you got to have the pay to support yourself. So I pulled the median wage for management occupations, which in 2016, the median wage for management occupations was the highest of all occupational groups at $100,790. When I saw that, I thought, oh, I went into the wrong field. I went, you know, right? We're all educating these students who are going to make much more than us in the future. But that's an excellent median wage in management occupations. And then I wanted to look at, so how does that compare to everybody else? This data is just a little bit older, but I think is still very relevant for our students and for us to use and share with folks. So in 2015, the median wage for all workers, right, was $36,200. And so then I just went out and pulled some median wages for some occupations in our field, and you can see that the median wage in business administration, as you well know, is well above the median wage for all workers, running anywhere from $60,000 on up to to well beyond 80,000. I mean, I could have just kept grabbing and grabbing and grabbing career occupations, but I wanted to pull a few from business management and administration, a few from marketing, and then some logistics and some purchasing agents as well. So this is really good information that you can share out either in newsletters, or you can share with your students, or you can share it with your students' parents or your administrators. All really great information to continue to build the case for why teach business administration in the career clusters in your field, in your school district. So I want to take just a couple of minutes. I'm going to look to see who we have online. Okay, I see. Oh, good. We've had quite a few more people join us. So I'm going to start up here at the top. Andrew, if you could unmute and just let us know, you got anything, thinking about your action plan going into the summer, is there anything that your group is going to be working on this summer? That's question number one. And question number two, is there anything you need from us at MBA Research, or you need from somebody else on this webinar tonight that could really help you facilitate that? So Andrew, I'm going to go ahead and let you unmute yourself if you can.
If it's possible, can you defer me to the end? I'm driving and I got a couple little kids in the car, and I'm not sure they'd stay quiet long enough.
All right, Andrew, I will check back in with you at the end, and if you're still driving, you will not give a report tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no problem. Ann Stewart, thinking about what you wanted to do. Ann is from Tennessee and was there by herself, but worked with a group of teachers and had a plan. Anything that you've got on your plate from Leadership Forum for the summer, Ann, and then anything we can help you with?
Nothing that I can say specific right now. I'm still trying to re-engage my brain. I will be working on this actively in another week or so, trying to get some things formalized. I'm trying to reach out to other teachers in my district and in the area to get them to kind of help me encourage the state to get participation in this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ann. For those of you that aren't aware, Tennessee is not a member state, but Ann has been extremely active. She serves on our teacher advisory network. And she's a rock star and a powerhouse in the state of Tennessee, and has been working really hard to engage other teachers in the use of our resources and materials. And she's actually doing some training this summer on her own to get people up to speed in her area on the Daniels Fund ethical leadership stuff. So thank you, Ann. Ann also just had surgery, so thank you so much for joining us, Ann. Just recently got home from the hospital. Betty, I'm going to go ahead and let you unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi, Betty.
Hey. Hey, Ann, I just had a thought when you came on from Tennessee. I'm Betty, and I'm from Kentucky. I'm going to be visiting Tennessee at the Tennessee Society of CPAs on for advanced accounting training, and maybe we can hook up later. I would love to have a conversation with my counterpart, and they're supposed to be there at the advanced accounting training at the Tennessee Society of CPAs in Brentwood. So I could reach out and share all of my experiences with MBA Research as a program consultant, and how much help they have given the state of Kentucky. So just to kind of give you a heads up that I'm going to be visiting Tennessee here in the near future.
That's wonderful. One of my teaching partners will actually be attending the advanced accounting seminar as well.
Okay.
So we need to connect, and I'll give you his contact information.
Okay, great. So that's just a sidebar conversation there. Sorry, the rest of the team here, leadership team, but in Kentucky, we just had a coalition meeting that was on my state action plan, and it went very, very well. We had several partners that are very interested in joining the Coalition for Business and Marketing Education in Kentucky. So that was one check mark off my state action plan. After the meeting, I want to have another futuring panel in Kentucky. And I had a business partner there that said they would host the next futuring panel, which is in the fall, and we're going to be doing one for the financial services career cluster, if you say. We already did one for business management in Kentucky, so my next goal was to do one for financial services. Also, I've had the go-ahead to write up to have regional trainings in Kentucky, because that was one of the things I shared in in January in Orlando, that really we need to have a more regional approach in Kentucky for business and marketing education. So I've taken that back to leadership here, and I'm going to get funding for at least 2 regional trainings and possibly 4. So, we're making some great strides in Kentucky, and I just feel very empowered with the training that I receive each time I attend anything MBA research, and being with just other state leaders. It really helps me with my thoughts and my ideas and where I want to take Kentucky. So that's
wonderful.
all.
Thank you, Betty. Gail, I'll let you speak from North Carolina.
Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button.
That's okay. I've been there before.
Yeah. Our biggest thing, right, well, a couple of big projects that I have going right now. One is a new curriculum being developed, but the other one is the plans for summer conference. And so we do have quite a few sessions for MBA research, or using things with MBA research as part of our professional development ongoing for our teachers. I think we probably mentioned this before, that we have this, really large summer conference for our teachers. And so we're doing a couple of sessions connecting through States Connection. We're trying to get that, and Tammy Cyrus is actually doing that one for us. And then we're doing, we have another classroom teacher that's doing one called The Final Lap to the Finish Line, using MBA research laps in the classroom. So we really are trying to educate our teachers even more on the laps. I think we've gotten them past the hurdle of trying to figure out, that at one point, they had to buy them, and now that they do not, we're trying to get them used to using them more so and incorporating them into the curriculum. So the curriculum team for the new course that we're working on has incorporated some of the laps into it as well. And so we're able to use them to help the teachers in that capacity. So
wonderful.
That's our summer conference right now is pretty much consuming most of us right now. So.
I bet they are. Gail, encourage that teacher who's doing that final lap to the finish line. If they're thinking about coming to Conclave, ask them to submit that proposal. I would love to have a teacher do a workshop on that, a concurrent session on that. That'd be awesome. So please reach out to him or her and recommend that they submit that as a proposal for Conclave as well. It's a great title. I love it.
Okay, I'll see what they say. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Good luck with your summer conference.
Thank you.
Jenny.
Hello, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button either. I'm on my phone. Kim and I are in the process of working on our summer academy, where we deliver a summer curriculum academy for new teachers as well as veteran teachers to update their curriculum. So we're in the works of doing that right now and utilizing all the things we've started planning and going to continue planning.
Jen, can you tell the group just a little bit about what you do at the Summer Academy?
Okay, at our Summer Academy, it's 3 days where we meet in a central location, and teachers from all around the state come where we teach them the standards, where the standards were derived from, how they're business-driven and research-driven from industry. We teach them all about the standards, and then we teach them what PQs, CSs, and everything are and get into details. Then the teachers have time to begin developing their curriculum for their courses. By the time they leave, our goal is for them to at least have a semester or a year completely done with their curriculum. And during it also, we have them map it out. They plan it on a calendar. They get to network with teachers from across the state. And we also share resources and have some little cool idea sessions where we share different things that we're doing in our classroom with one another.
Okay, great. So if anyone's ever interested in that, Jen and Kim was also at the Leadership Forum. This is kind of their project coming out of, it's been their project for a couple of years, but they're adding some new touches to it. So if you're ever interested in finding out what they do or how they do that, you can either reach out to them directly or you can ask me to connect you with them as well. Kelly Holloway looks like she keeps coming and going, so I'm thinking she continues to get kicked off. So I'm going to go back to Andrew, but Andrew, if you're still driving, just leave yourself self-muted, and then I'll know that you are not able to talk. I've got to take care of those little munchkins. Okay, it looks like Andrew is still driving, so we'll just let him listen. So that kind of takes us to the end, and does anyone have questions for me? You'll be getting, just to kind of summarize, you're going to get a formal letter emailed to you, and I'm going to send it via email because so many school districts themselves are shut down. That way you'll have it and you can take it to school, letting you know for our State Department people and for our teachers what's happening at Conclave, the sessions that'll be there specifically for you. It'll also include information about the ethics specialist and or the course implementation training that'll take place post-conference on that Monday afternoon and on that Tuesday. And I'm going to send you a link to submit proposals for presentations. If any of you are interested in presenting either on a panel, I'd really like to put together a panel of some states and maybe a couple of independent teachers who are at Forum to talk about what they did, what they learned, and then what came from that. All of these really great things that you're doing. So please email me and let me know, and then I can put that panel together. But does anyone have any general questions or anything they want to share? Okay, our team will actually be following, our team from MBA Research will be following up with State Department folks over the summer. We'll be making at least one more call out to you to see if you need any support or assistance. We want to continue that momentum that you started in January. We're really here to facilitate. You're doing all the hard work. So we certainly want to celebrate all that you've already done, and we want to celebrate when we're together at Conclave as well. You guys have a wonderful evening. If you're a teacher, have a great end to the year if you've not already wrapped up and finished. State Department people, we'll be talking to you over the summer, and you guys really have just a great evening and a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I will talk to you soon.